Hey everybody, good morning. And as you can see from the mess all over the place in my skybox, I have just gotten back from Epiphany, the Gacha event, and I got a lot of stuff. And if you look on my inventory there, you can see I've got a lot of extras. And a lot of extras, way too many extras. And so I'm going to sell these on Marketplace, and I wanted to make a short video to walk everybody through how to do this. Now, I am not an expert at Marketplace by any sense of the imagination. I don't sell very much there, mostly just reselling gachas. Actually, really, that's all I do. And I haven't used it a great deal, but I do basically know how to get a listing up there and how to make it work. So I thought I would share that with everyone today so that you can also get a chance to see what it looks like. And if you haven't done it before, it's a pretty good way to get rid of your extras and make a little bit of cash back from what you purchased. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through and create 2 listings today for these items from Blueberry. And I'm going to show you how I go through and do it from start to finish. So hopefully when you're done watching this, you'll be able to do it as well. All right, so we're going to start with these shoes, and these are the longer boot shoes in the cherry color for Maitreya from the event. And what I do, what I'm going to do with this is I've actually got 2 of them right here. So I'm going to show you how to take care of this. So I'm going to just come into my inventory and right click and say move to marketplace. And it's going to move it over here to the marketplace, and you can find this under your Me tab. It's whatever they call it, avatar, I guess, in Firestorm, because they'd like to do things differently. And then marketplace listings if it doesn't come up, but that's where it is. All right, so I've got 1 of them in there. I'm going to go ahead and grab this other one, and I'm going to move this to marketplace as well. And then let's see here. Let's do the mini ones too. So mini cherry shoes. Those are the ones that are just the regular heels. We'll move that over. And let me just look through here quick and see if I've got any other shoes that are cherry. There's some more minis. We'll go ahead and move that. Blue, sky, pink, white, sky, pink. Okay. All right, so we've got these here. This is a pretty good setup. So when you have these in here, you've basically moved these folders from your inventory into your marketplace folder in inventory. But when they're the same item like this, you can clean it up a little bit. So these are both the same item. So what I can do is just expand each of these out like this till I get down to the actual item. And I can just pick up this here and move it down to here. And so now it'll say this one here has no stock. So I can just right click and delete that. And this one here is a stock of 2. And I can do the same thing up here. And all you're doing is saving yourself some time so you don't have to create a listing for each individual item. You can just create 1 listing for common items. And you'll be better off then. So I got a stock of 2 and a stock of 2. All right, so these are still unassociated. So they're in our marketplace folder, but they haven't been associated with what is called a listing. And a listing is the actual page inside a marketplace that people go to find your stuff and buy it. And so we need to create listings for these. What we're going to do is we're going to right click on each one of these and we're going to choose create listing. Right click and create listing. So now we have nothing unassociated. It means we have listings for everything. And we can jump over here. Oh, look at this. I've got another shoes cherry right here. We're going to go ahead and move that in too. And we're going to go ahead and create a listing for that. All right, so now we switch over to here to unlisted. So we've created a listing, but we haven't actually published that listing yet. So let's go ahead and clean this one up first. Let's add the 3rd one into here. Like that. Yes, I know. It gets mad if you do it on this tab. It's better to do it on the unassociated tab. It gets less mad at you. Okay, so I've got these here now, and we're going to go ahead and start with the shoes that are just heels. And what we need to do is we need to create a listing for this. Okay? We need to edit the listing for this so we can actually publish it. So we'll go to right-click and edit listing. And it's actually going to open up our web page on Marketplace, and you need to have a Marketplace store already. And you can do that by going to Marketplace and setting it up there. what we're going to do with this first one is basically create a template for everything that we're going to do after this. Okay, and creating templates are super easy. Okay, all you really need to do is fill all the information in, and then you can kind of go back into it. But the most important part is having a SKU at the top, because it makes it really easy to find stuff. So I created one earlier called Epiphany01, and I've got some things on it here, and so I'm going to go ahead and choose that one. It's a good blank part. But I'm going to change this to Blueberry 01. Okay, and this way I can always get back to this listing by typing in this SKU and copying it from a quick fill, and it's going to make the whole process a lot easier, because I keep my listings very, very simple. All right, so I've got that there. I'm going to go ahead and delete, no, actually I want to keep that Blueberry 01. Yeah, 01, there we go. Okay, so we're going to leave the name there. All right, so we're going to set our status to active. Okay, the maturity level, unless you know it's some sort of an adult thing, you can click the listing guidelines. I just leave it on general. I even generally leave it on general if it has a bit of nudity in it, just because the Gachas, I don't worry about it too much, but probably if it does, if the picture you're showing does have nudity in it, or if it's something that's kind of a risque outfit, you may want to adjust that. Most items are 100% mesh. Most Gachas are transfer, but you can go ahead and fill in here whatever makes the most sense. If it's fitted mesh, you can select that as well. And most things now will be fitted mesh as well. So closing works with mesh avatars. Want to make sure that's selected. And if it fits a particular brand, you can fill this in here. And if you have the desire to, you can put a URL to that store. I don't do that with Gachas because I don't need to do that so much, but I do put Maitreya because I want to make sure that people know they're getting the Maitreya version of this, especially when it's only one version. So that's all pretty basic. Go ahead and fill it in, and most times they have these little kind of how-tos here that you can use. All right, so next, down at the bottom, here's the name of the folder. Okay, and luckily with most Gachas, this is also the name of the item, so that's here. And I just want to make sure that the item title matches that. Sometimes it doesn't, and what you want to do is just come in here and with your mouse highlight that, copy it, and then I just paste the exact same thing on the title. Because a lot of people will just search based on the box titles for the items they want. And if you change the titles, you'll get less sales on Gachas. I promise you, you will. All right, now I just have written up this sort of really simple set of text. I don't customize it for each item. I just leave it here, and it basically tells people that this is a Gacha item, where I got it. It tells them that I have not opened it yet. It tells them that I have not opened it yet, so I can't even confirm what's inside of it. And it tells them that all my sales are final for Gacha items. It's too much work to try and deal with sale backs and give backs on marketplace items. I'm being fair. I know I'm being fair. I'm being honest, and I know some people maybe aren't, but I am, and it's just a lot of work to try and deal with it otherwise, so I just make them all final. And then I once again remind people that all of my items are going to be from Maitreya, because otherwise some people go in and they're like, oh, I thought this was for Hourglass, etc. All right, keywords, you can do whatever you want. I usually kind of go in here and type in a few. Again, I think most people are searching by the name and not by this other stuff. This stuff is useful long term. This stuff is useful kind of short term while it's going on. All right, so this is for a pair of shoes, so I need to set my category. And these are just going to put in as heels because I'm not, again, too fancy, and I'm just going to go ahead and choose the generic one. But you can be as specific as you want. Item price is totally up to you, whatever you think you can get for it. A lot of items on Marketplace are listed 20 or 30 cents above the pull value. Sometimes even more. Of course, rares go for even more. I generally list somewhere between the pull value and about 15 cents over the pull value. There is a 3% fee on every sale on Marketplace. So if you just list it at pull, you'll lose a little bit of money. But if you just want to sell your things, go ahead and list them for a lower price. A lot of people even list them below pull just to get rid of them, especially if you have a lot. I'm going to leave mine listed at 55 for now, just because I think I can sell them at that. And you can always come in and edit these later. All right, so next you're going to upload an image. Now I just went out to the website for Epiphany and I downloaded the images from there. You need to resize them so that they're at least 512 by 512 in size. It tells you the specifics here about the recommended dimensions, but I just go ahead and make them that minimum usually because it's easier. And then you can just click, and I've got it right here. And you click OK. And it will load that image in. Okay. And that's it. Okay. You want to make sure that this active item is checked, otherwise it won't actually list your item. And I click on update. All right, I can close this down. Now this window here, move back here, you see that one we just did is gone because it's actually over here on listed now. So it's actually active on Marketplace. Now let's go back and let's do this second one quick, because this one's going to be a slight bit easier. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to edit this listing. Because I've already created my template now for Blueberry, all I'm going to have to do, because they're really basically the same, is come in here. Blueberry 01 is what I called it. All right, let me just cut that because I actually want to put it in my quick fill. Search, there's my listing. My phone always rings when we're on a video. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and delete the SKU. I only want to keep the SKU once because I only need to look it up one time. Sometimes I will create a second one if I have rare items, but generally though I'll just keep it once. So I'll delete the SKU from here. I'm going to set it to active, and I am going to, let's see here, just verify everything real quick. So it's general, 100% mesh, fitted mesh, transfer mesh. My brand went away. That's kind of weird. I don't know why I did that. That's okay. It's not a big deal. Notice here, though, that the item title's not there. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that and paste that there. This I'm going to leave the same. This is fine. I need to come in here now because I'm going to change this to boots, because these are the longer ones. They're not really boots, but they are thigh highs, basically. 55 again. Unfortunately, I've got to go back in and select the image again. That doesn't get copied over. And I want to verify again that it's active. And I can choose update. I'll close this out, and again, it's gone. Now, while we were talking, I made a sale. So I'll show you how to clean this up really quick. This is good timing. So this Rain Forsaken Bottom Harness Cherry Maitreya 17, it says out of stock now. So I just had one of those and I have nothing in the folder. Once this is done, if you don't think you're going to have any more, if you're going to go back, you might want to keep them. But if you're done, you can just come in here and delete this and clean it up. And then it will remove that listing and that item. But there it is. So now I've got both my Blueberry items here. It's pretty quick to go through. Now I've got like 45 of these to do, which is kind of a lot, sadly. And you can create different templates. So if you want to create one all for the same type of shoes and do them all at once, and then change your template up and do all of the dresses, etc., whatever you want to do, it can make it a little bit faster. But that's how you put stuff up on Marketplace, at least for Gachas. It's probably a more in-depth process if you're selling stuff you've created on your own. And like I said, I'm really not an expert at this, but that's generally how it works. So I hope you found this interesting, informative, fun, and if you do sell Gachas, you know, it's a good way to get some of that money back. So I'm going to go ahead and finish all the rest of these up and get them all listed, and then get on to sorting stuff into my wardrobe, which is all this mess out here. So lots of fun to be had, and I'll check you all guys out later. Bye-bye.